Shaun, you've had a chance to watch it back now.
About 12 times. Yeah.
Has your opinion changed on what you saw first time round? Are you feeling better about it, worse about it?
Worse, definitely worse. We did some good things, but just not enough. I don't think it was a real test match. They were too good. They were the worthy winners, and we really didn't challenge them, which is the most disappointing thing. Didn't see anywhere near the best of us, and that's down to me. So it's something we have to fix this week.
When you say it's down to you, what do you think you didn't get right, or what needed to be better?
We need to look at training, what we did, GPS. We spent all weekend studying the detail of what we did, every session, every drill. And there's a reason why the players weren't at their very best after last Saturday. So, and that's our job. The beauty of having a series like this is that you've got a chance to go again and put things right.
What will be different this week from last week?
We'll challenge them in more areas, and we'll end our sets better, hopefully. And that will, the knock-on effect from doing that is huge. We just put ourselves under so much pressure.
When I hear you say end of sets need to be better and they will be better, my man goes, Harry Smith, good. He coming now, is he in your thinking for Saturday?
Yeah, well, he was in my thinking for last Saturday as well. It's a really good 24-man squad we've got. There's lots of players could have played last week, and they're all going to be available for selection this week as well.
Do you anticipate that you will make changes?
Yeah.
And a
few, yeah. I'm going to be seeing the coaches again. We've had a meeting this morning, another meeting this afternoon. The players are coming in at 5. We had a long day on Sunday, so the players are having just a couple more hours off this afternoon, and that's why there's no player with me now. They're coming in at 5 o'clock, and but we're going to look into it about what we need to do and make sure the team is going to be a lot more equipped.
How tricky is it knowing how many changes to make? Because at the end of the day, they don't get to play with each other a lot, and if you make a lot of changes, it's very different from last week. You've got how hard is it to have?
You've nailed it. It's not easy trying to find that blend. At the end of the day, I want the team to go out on Saturday, and I want it to look like a proper test match. It didn't look like a test match to me. It wasn't physical. They were better in many areas. So this week has to look like a real test match, and we need to give a better account of ourselves. And whether I make 2 or 4 changes, I'm not sure yet.
Do you reckon it's in between that 2 to 4?
Yeah.
And then just on you mentioned the intensity. I mean, the first 20 minutes was tough, combative. I know maybe near the end it wasn't. Do you need to find a way that intensity stays beyond?
Yeah, we did some good things. We made 3 or 4 line breaks and didn't score. They was ruthless when they made a line break, they scored. And that can change this week. International rugby's like, it can change. And I've got some really good players in my team, so it could be very, very different this week. But we need to be better in so many areas. Just
lastly from me, you mentioned the chances. It felt like the scoreboard could have been very different at half time if you nailed your moments. Does that give you optimism and reason to think it maybe wasn't as bad as it's been made out, or do you stand by the performance-wise?
Yeah, I do stand by the performance is not good enough, but we all know the first try was dubious, and that would have changed things going at half time, but it wasn't to be. Overall, my overriding thought process is that we just weren't good enough. The absolute best team won, and that hurts badly, because we've looked forward to this test for a long, long time, and we just didn't turn up.
Shaun, what was the journey back from Wembley like after the game?
Oh, not good. Yeah, it was a lot of upsets, staff and players. It was a painful journey home, but I wanted it to be, and and the players won't want it any other way. They're hurting the players. They know they underperformed. And, if it was two teams going at it, we play well, they play well, then I'd be sort of okay about it if we'd lost. But the fact that we was at a 6 out of 10 is so disappointing. And that journey home was about 6 out of 10.
Give us an insight into the last couple of days for you on a personal level. Obviously, you talked before the series about sleepless nights. I guess there's been a couple more since Saturday.
Yeah, and that's part of being a coach. You take it personal. I don't like it when my team and we as staff underperform. We've done something where in the week what's led our players to do that on Saturday. But there's also, when you look at it, the big picture stuff, we brought them and we didn't really like our completions were 60% and you just can't win test matches like that. Our completions were even higher than Australia, so it shows how good they were with the ball. They didn't really go up our end that much, but they tried to score with long range, so absolute credit to them. There's no doubt about that, but we need to be miles better.
Obviously your preparations were meticulous. You talk about needing to get better on that front and find a way to. But no matter how much preparation you do you feel there was maybe a nervous energy on Saturday among the group, or some of the group at least?
I do. And I was looking into reasons why. We had a lot of experience out there, and players felt nervous. We've been wanting this series for a long time, and it's had a big build-up in our players' heads, but hopefully you see a different team this Saturday.
Sure, another the focus will be internally, but obviously Reece Walsh had a massive impact on that game with his 2 tries and stopping a couple. Do you look at this week how you can prevent him from having such an impact in a game? Yeah,
well, we did that in first test as well, and that didn't go well. So we need to be better at that. He's a class player, no doubt about that. They've got a lot of class players in their team, but he's special. And the way he stopped our tries, they took a complete risk, but our execution has to be better. If you don't get many chances to score trying international rugby, and we missed a few. So and all credit to him, he put himself in a position or stopped us scoring. So.
On the flip side of that, I think it's fair to say that Jack Wellsby had a pretty difficult afternoon. Hopefully he's not been looking at what the Aussies have been saying too much. Do you put your arm around him? How do you sort of motivate him to look forward and bounce back in that situation?
Yeah, we look after Jack. We're a very close group, and he's a champion bloke, no doubt about that. But he'll be looked after within the team. But he's done a lot of good things, Jack, as well. He just had an off day on Saturday, but a few people did.
Yeah, do you think the criticism of Jack particularly was a bit harsh, or?
Yeah, I don't know what criticism is. I genuinely don't know, but I know what Jack's capable of. He's very strong character, and whatever's been said, he'll bounce back strong.
And a positive impact. Jez Lynn came on from the bench, kicked a 40-20. He was lively around the interchange. Has he given you thought to maybe start at 9, or were you happy with? Yeah,
it's weird this. He's without a doubt been the best 9 this year, and it would be better for the team for him to be on the bench. It's not like when I played, when being on the bench it was thought of as like you're not good enough to start. It's not like that anymore. Like, the bench players have a huge part to play in the game overall, and he understands that, Jez. So he went into that game as the best 9 in the comp, and he come on and back that up. Does it make sense or not? I do think that conversation I had with Jez about him being on the bench and the reasons why, because it's team first, and he understood it.
So will he stay on the bench then, just giving that thought?
He might not. So I just messed it up there. Yeah.
Shaun, just on the players' reaction, you've said multiple times before that the lads, they're an honest bunch. Have they had some discussions, maybe in the sheds afterwards, on the court journey home, about what went wrong, what they want to rectify this week? Yeah, we had a chat in the change rooms, and that was heartbreaking. That one, we're all hurted from that. It was a bit raw, and then we had a chat. We got back to the hotel. We come straight back after the game, and then a shocking journey. And then we did the review of the game on Sunday morning. So that was a long day on Sunday, and
hence the reason why they have some time off. And the players were brutally honest. We was the staff, and we all need to be better against an unbelievably good Australian team.
Does that add motivation for this week, Shaun? Because everyone in this room probably knows that you're more than capable, and the players are more than capable. Does that add some fight to the bellies, if that makes sense?
It does a bit, yeah, it does a bit. And you're right, people in the room do know what our players are capable of. The NRL people don't yet, and that hurts me. I'll be honest with you, it does hurt. But I feel a lot better on Saturday if we really have a go at them and attack the way we can attack and defend as physical as possible, which we didn't do last weekend. Good question, though.
Just lastly, Shaun, on the same basis, after Saturday, I know you don't do social media, but there's been some pretty derogatory things said from the Aussies regarding you, regarding some of your squad. Have you seen any of that? Have you seen the reaction? And if so, what do you make of it?
I've genuinely not seen it. Adam will back me up on that. I don't have anything. Yeah, but you're going to get that. We've got beaten in a test match and we got beat badly. And it's part of being a head coach. I've had it all my life. It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
All good there from everyone?
Like just ask, sorry, one more, Shaun. Talk potentially the atmosphere at Wembley being a little bit flat at times before the game and during the game. With these next two tests being in the Heartlands, how do you expect that to change, and could that be a key to being inspired?
It will be great for the atmosphere. Be fun. I thought the atmosphere was good at Wembley, and you know I know it weren't full. Not many people can fill Wembley, but I thought it was great how it started. And but I know. Is it Barley Moor? What do you call it? Ildick? Bramley Moor. That ground is going to be banging. It's going to be packed with real rugby league fans, a real test match, and you know, so that's going to. The players will enjoy that. But I know they enjoyed the build up to Wembley as well. You know, being in our capital city, and it felt like a big game. But as soon as it started, it just didn't feel that way, and that's down to us.